Right now, new details surrounding former President Trump and the backlash of the Mar-a-Lago raid.
And we're waking up to cloudy and foggy conditions. We'll take a look at when that could lift in just a moment.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now Sunday. We're going to take a look outside with Julian. How are we looking for this Sunday?
We're looking gross, Shane.
Yeah,
Let's just start with that. It's pretty cloudy and foggy here in Madison. And on top of it, well, things are not going to lift throughout the early morning hours. But by the time we get towards the lunchtime, we are looking for that fog to lift for us. Some of our areas are looking at some light drizzle as we're waking up this morning. A bit of some mugginess as well as you're heading out the door. Not ample weather for you to go for your morning run, but we will look for improvements by the time we get into our afternoon. Take a look at our visibility here in southern Wisconsin itself. Around 4 miles in terms of Madison, but areas to the northwest and northeast are looking at even more obscured visibility as we're kicking off things this morning. Now, take a look at our commutes. We're not, again, going to see much improvement until about the lunchtime hours. So our early and mid-morning, we're looking at foggy conditions. So make sure you're taking it slow and that you're using your low beams because of those foggy areas. Now, temperatures around southern Wisconsin, 68 in Janesville, 65 in Platteville. Areas just to the west, 65 apiece from Prairie du Chien to Lone Rock. And on top of it, dew points. Again, a bit of that muggy conditions, especially for areas just south and southwest of Dane County. We'll plan out the rest of our day in just a few moments and take a look at our new school week kind of forecast in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, Shane.
All right, Julian, thank you. New details are emerging about the classified documents FBI agents seized from former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago retreat. CBS's Tina Kraus has the latest on the investigation.
CBS News has learned a lawyer for former President Trump certified in writing back in June that all classified materials had been removed from his Florida resort home, dubbed the Winter White House. But this summer, people familiar with where and how sensitive documents were being stored steered investigators toward Mar-a-Lago.
I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter.
The search warrant shows more than 20 boxes and binders were seized, including 11 sets of highly classified documents, some marked top secret, and some only meant to be seen in secure government areas. The warrant also reveals the FBI is investigating the former president for potentially violating the Espionage Act, mishandling classified documents, and obstruction of justice.
I'm highly suspicious of the corruption involved in this raid.
House Republicans are demanding the Department of Justice hand over the affidavit detailing the basis for their warrant. In a social media post Saturday night, Trump wrote, "The White House just announced it had no knowledge of the early morning raid on Mar-a-Lago. Does anybody really believe this? Witch hunt." While Trump supporters rush to his defense, the Department of Homeland Security warns of a growing number of threats and acts of violence against the FBI. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Two sources tell CBS News the FBI requested private security cameras at Mar-a-Lago be shut off before the search, but Trump's team refused. Now Trump's lawyers are discussing whether to publicly release videos and photos taken as agents executed the search warrant. Thanks to the Wisconsin State Patrol, the search is over for a man who police say broke into a Minneapolis couple's home and killed a man. 31-year-old Franklin White was arrested late Friday afternoon in Wisconsin. Police say the couple knew Franklin and had an order of protection against him. But on Friday, a neighbor captured video of Franklin breaking into the home. Minneapolis police say a woman made a frantic 911 call from inside the house for help. She got out, but the man inside did not.
Officers arrived and identified a male inside the house who had been fatally stabbed.
White has been charged with 1 count of second-degree murder. If convicted, he could serve up to 40 years. A 14-year-old boy is facing charges after allegedly breaking into 2 businesses. Officers were called to a bar in the 2600 block of Morse Street just before 3 yesterday after a burglary alarm was activated. While police were responding, a second burglary alarm was activated at Blaine's Farm and Fleet in the 2400 block of Humes Road. After arriving at that location, officers allegedly found the teen inside the building. The suspect was arrested and taken to the Rock County Youth Services Center. Police say physical and video evidence link the teen to both break-ins. The incidents remain under investigation. If you travel on North Shore Drive during your morning commute, listen up. The road will close beginning August 26th and remain partially closed until next month. Crews will begin a two-phase process to replace the railroad track that crosses the road near John Nolan Drive. North Shore Drive will be completely closed from South Bedford Street and John Nolan Drive until August 29th. Then Phase 2 will begin and is expected to run until September 1st. Traffic on North Shore Drive will be open, but the eastbound section of the road will be reduced to one lane. Delays are expected on John Nolan Drive and North Shore Drive during construction. The Labor Department has released its Consumer Price Index this week, which signaled inflation may have peaked. That's good news for airline travelers and pretty much everyone. While fares are still higher than in 2019, a decline in fuel prices could make one last summer getaway a little cheaper. CBS's Chris Van Cleve has more.
Falling fares down nearly 8% in July.
I feel like it went up, but now it's going back to like normal prices.
I know how high they can be, so when I find a reasonable flight, I jump on it immediately.
Some big savings on flights to San Diego, now $230 cheaper on average than the May peak. Hawaii is down $154. Even flights to Prague could cost you about $300 less.
Prices about a month ago were ridiculously high.
To find a deal, Renanda Young and her mom took a ridiculous detour, driving more than 100 miles to save nearly $400. They flew from Eugene, Oregon to Burbank, California instead of Portland to Los Angeles. It still cost her double from last year.
They were close to reasonable. At that time, they were $400 for the two of us for round trip, just over.
Airline ticket prices peaked in May as pent-up pandemic demand filled planes and fuel prices soared.
What's the sweet spot if you're looking for a deal?
If you're looking for a deal on airfare, now is the sweet spot.
Haley Berg tracks airfare for travel site Hopper. She says right now, round-trip domestic tickets for September and October will cost travelers on average $238, down roughly 37% from May. But she expects they will again top $300 by November and rise steadily as people book for the holidays.
Though prices have fallen from the peak earlier this summer, well over $400, they are still relatively high. Prices will probably drop a little bit between now and the middle of October. You will want to book your holiday travel by that second week of October.
Renata Young is already bargain hunting for her next getaway.
With the prices coming down on airline tickets, I'm actually anticipating us traveling some more in the next year than what I had initially planned for our travel budget.
Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Raleigh, North Carolina.
And if you're hitting the road one last time this summer, there is some relief at the pump as well. You've probably noticed it. AAA says the national average price for regular gasoline fell under $4 for the first time since March. All right, still ahead, are you considering switching to electric? Well, Consumer Reports has some answers to those common questions, and you're taking a live look over that foggy, foggy capital. Julian back with the forecast after this.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
Velco Factory Direct. What does that mean? It means no middleman, no overpriced, underperforming windows. Factory Direct means getting what you want, when you want, without breaking the bank. It means when you buy one window, you'll get one free. Yes, free. It means quality craftsmanship, custom designs, and a lifetime warranty. Most importantly, it means a team of window professionals dedicated to one thing above all, your delight. Buy one window, get one free. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Velco.
Come on, Brian.
Dad, look.
Brian, come on.
I'm Courtney.
I'm Brian.
Ready, Brian? Summer won't last forever, but you can go out and make memories that will during Toyota's National Sales Event.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, a 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. See your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Ooh, Kohler, of course.
When were you going to tell me about the new shower?
Oh, you like it?
I love it.
I designed it myself.
Is she bragging about our shower again?
Wow.
It was all Kohler Luxstone.
The walls, the storage, the shower head, everything. A Kohler authorized dealer walked us through every detail, and installation couldn't have been easier.
What's so great about being a Pick and Save Boost member? Free delivery on the Pick and Save products you love, and more rewards like double fuel points. Boost by Pick and Save Fresh Perks, a new level of membership starting as low as $59 a year. Learn more at pickandsave.com.
Only two things are forever: love and Liberty Mutual customizing your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And if anyone objects to this marriage, Kevin, no, not today. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If Tim Michaels is governor, here's what reproductive health care would look like in Wisconsin. Providing abortions? A felony. Exceptions in cases of rape or incest? None. Here's what Michaels says to Wisconsin women who get pregnant after being raped. To ask her to go through the birth is not unreasonable. Tim Michaels is a radical and divisive politician coming for your rights. Wisconsin women deserve better. Vote no on Tim Michaels.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
And starting off our Sunday morning, folks, it is a cloudy one, and on top of it is quite foggy. We're still dealing with a little bit of drizzle here in Madison, and that's going to linger throughout the early morning hours for us. But by the time we get into late morning, close to lunchtime hour, we're looking for that drizzle to pretty much phase out, but some spots could see just a little bit more of it. Outside of that, though, cloudy conditions will remain firm throughout the rest of our morning and going into our afternoon, but look to break up by the time we get into tonight. Visibility is quite low throughout much of southern Wisconsin. So make sure that you're traveling, if you are traveling this morning, that you're using your low beams and taking it slow. We're looking at 4 miles of visibility for Madison, 5 miles in Monroe, but areas in Mineral Point, the Dells, and for Juneau and Viroqua are quite low this morning. And as we take a look at our current setup, we have a high pressure system which is set up just inside of Minnesota, but this low, which has been funneling in some moisture into the upper Midwest, specifically for us here in Wisconsin, has brought in a bit of some showers, and outside of it, some of that drizzle as well, which is where we're looking at those dew points to really start to fuel a bit of that moisture throughout the rest of our morning hours. But the good news is we're looking for that to fall apart by the time we get into the later part of today. But as we're waking up, again, we're going to be looking at just some small parts of some drizzle just around Madison. Now, as we take a look at the last 48 hours, we did get some healthy rainfall for our friends outside of Crawford, Vernon, and for Grant counties, around close to 2.5 inches of rainfall, which has stretched its way even to parts of Rock County itself. But for us here in Dane County, we saw about close to 1/4 of an inch of rainfall over the last 48 hours, which is a nice little good drink. But overall, again, not looking at too much in terms of rainfall over the last 48 hours here because of the drizzle that we saw. Playing out the rest of today, it's going to be on the cloudy side. Temperatures will start to warm up just a bit into the lower 70s, but overall it's not going to be much in terms of a warm-up for us throughout the day. And on top of it, things are going to still be rather pleasant. Now, folks, we have to send our kids back to school tomorrow. Now, here's a look at what we're going to be seeing. Bus pickup throughout midday, and for our drop-off, it is going to be pleasant. However, you might want to give your kids just a light jacket as they're heading into the pickup, because we're going to be in the 60s, but by the time drop-off starts, we're going to be into those mid-70s. Going in throughout the rest of today, what we're going to see, again, just a couple of drizzles. Cloud cover will stick around with that northeasterly flow, but outside of it, things are going to stay rather calm throughout the course of the day, but also rather cloudy. Taking a look at our 10-day forecast, temperatures are going to be in the 70s throughout the next few days, and on top of it, heading into next week, that's going to be rather dry until Friday and Saturday, where we have a shot of seeing some showers and some storms, Shane.
All right, Julian, thank you very much. Keeping an eye on things. Yeah. Appreciate it. Well, starting tomorrow, Janesville residents can explore town on electric scooters. The company Bird is introducing 75 vehicles as part of a pilot program starting this upcoming week. The scooters will be available to rent through October, and then it'll be up to the City Council to determine if the program can return next spring. To rent a scooter, just download the company's mobile app. Riders must be at least 18 years old. From electric scooters to electric cars, a new survey from Consumer Reports shows a growing number of Americans are considering going electric when deciding on a new vehicle. One of the top reasons being that it costs less to charge an electric car than to refuel a gas car. But is an electric vehicle right for you? Well, Consumer Reports answers some of your questions to help you decide.
Could your next car be electric?
Yes, because gas is way too expensive now.
Well, aside from the fuel, it's cleaner to run fuel-efficient cars like that.
In a recent Consumer Reports survey, more than a third of people said they would strongly consider buying an electric car.
Improvements to the nation's charging networks, more lower-priced EVs coming to market, and increasing range from battery technology advances together are all breaking down barriers to EV ownership.
But some Americans have reservations.
With traveling, it's just getting to where I gotta go and back without having to charge up my car. I just don't think I'm ready for it yet.
Americans in the survey cited purchase price and cost of repairs as the top cost-related barriers holding them back from getting an EV. However, compared to the typical lifespan of a gas-powered car, EVs usually cost less to own.
EVs have fewer moving parts and fluids that need to be changed. Even the brakes tend to last longer. Plus, the cost of powering the car is less, especially with elevated gas prices.
And mainstream automakers are introducing lower-priced models, like the Hyundai Kona, Nissan Leaf, and the Chevrolet Bolt, which starts at $26,595. This puts the Bolt around $20,000 less than the price of an average new car. Some EV models are also eligible for a $7,500 federal tax credit, effectively reducing the cost to go electric. This is Andrew Belize.
And when and where to charge electric cars is another common concern. Right now, there are close to 50,000 charging locations nationwide and about 275 here in Madison. Well, coming up next, a sit down with the stars of Hamilton. They're performing right here in Madison. We're back after this.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
At Associated Physicians, we are so grateful that we are able to take care of our patients in so many ways. Do you know how much we have under one roof? Get ready for it. We've got OBGYN, pediatrics, internal medicine, physical therapy, podiatry, behavioral health, and x-rays, 3D mammograms, lab, nutrition counseling, anticoagulation therapy, and we've got new parking too. Associated Physicians. Call us for an appointment at 233-9746.
This is Connie Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. While things have changed, it's still necessary for families to stay connected. And when it comes to the loss of a loved one, it's important to process and grieve and honor your loved one in a way that keeps everyone safe. We're doing this through intimate services and private virtual streaming so your family can be part of the service no matter where they are. Ryan Funeral Homes are here with your safety in mind and compassionate care in your time of need.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, 8-ounce pork chops, only 99 cents. Baskin & Bushel cut vegetables, only $1.50 a bag. Yoplait yogurt, only 39 cents. And Betty Crocker fruit snacks, only 99 cents. Monday only. And save even more with Hy-Vee Fuel Saver. Right now, save up to $5.23 per gallon with your Hy-Vee Fuel Saver Plus Perks card. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Donate today.
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead cost.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And take a look outside. We're still dealing with some foggy conditions. Not going to stick around for us throughout the much of our morning hours. Current conditions right now, 65 degrees. We are dealing with a bit of some drizzle here in Madison. But just note, folks, it is quite muggy, not just because of the fog and the little bit of drizzle that we're seeing, as dew points are around 62 degrees for us here in Madison in itself. Visibility is quite obscured throughout much of southern Wisconsin. So if you are going to do any kind of morning traveling, make sure that you're taking it slow and using your low beams, especially areas for Viroqua and Mineral Point. We're just seeing just 1.5 miles in terms of visibility for us. So our commutes are going to be impacted by this. Foggy conditions are going to stick around. It's going to be rather inconvenient throughout our morning commutes, but the good news is by the time we get into our afternoon, it will improve. Temperatures right now 68 in Janesville with 65 in Platteville. Many of us are holding into those mid to upper 60s, and our dew points are pretty much the same as well. We'll take a look at what else to expect for the rest of our Sunday in just a few moments. Till then, back to you, Shane.
All right, Julian, thank you very much. The groundbreaking musical Hamilton opened on Broadway in 2015 and changed the world. Still playing on Broadway, the work by Lin-Manuel Miranda has spun off 3 U.S. touring companies. And one of those companies is staging Hamilton at the Overture Center through August 21st. Mark Kane and Susan Simon had the chance to talk with the actors portraying Aaron Burr and George Washington.
What is so special about this show for you?
The main thing that's special is that I think that the company reflects the melting pot that is the United States. So we really have like this eclectic group of people that really, when you're in the audience, you can kind of see yourself represented up there in some capacity.
Part of the genius of Lin-Manuel Miranda, Paul, is that this show was such a cultural reset, as you were just saying. And it continues to generate so much enthusiasm and support. What does it feel like to you personally to be part of something that groundbreaking?
It fills me with humility, first of all. We were talking about our Midwest values, you know. We're very like, I'm just so happy to be here, you know how we are. And it feels like a responsibility. You can't go out there and do half anything with this show. It's a huge locomotive, like the old school locomotives with the smoke coming out that barrel through. You jump on the train and it goes. So you have to be ready. You have to give it 150% every night, and it's a big responsibility. So people just see us on stage, but we take care of ourselves from the moment we wake up throughout the day to get ready for that intense 3 hours.
The stamina that it requires is fascinating.
Yeah, you can't just roll out of bed and go do the show.
And that train has not slowed down since 2015. This show is as important and popular as ever.
I think there's, first of all, a craving just for good entertainment and good theater, right? There's that initial thing. You know, back in the 40s and 50s, the popular music was the music that was in the theaters and was all that. And this is one of those few shows that has come back and made a resurgence where you could hear this music on the radio.
That's number one. I think that's the number one answer. And the number two answer, for me anyway, is that I think Lin did something really tricky and canny. While you have turntables, you have corsets and big gowns, you have this crazy choreography, you have this, you know, incredible music. What he really did is tell a very Western story that we are all comfortable with: a hero, an anti-hero, a love interest, a possible second love interest, 3 buddies that travel along with you like Wizard of Oz, a father figure in George Washington. These are stories like Star Wars and, you know, the Westerns that we, as Americans, we sit and we go, I thought I was going to be confused by the rap but I know this story. I know this story.
Yeah, and it crosses markets, because if you don't like musical theater, you somehow can click into the hip hop. There's a little of something for everybody. And if you don't like that, there's the whole history aspect of this, where you can kind of click into that. And so if you don't enjoy one thing, you definitely enjoy another thing. And I think that marriage really is really magical.
Even if you feel like you know the basic American history story, it inspires you to learn so much more about it, to dig into it deeper. And the more you see it, the more you connect with it. You know what I mean?
And then that's one of the wonderful things about the show, is that it started lots of conversations, both about politics, race, music, theater. I mean, you can walk out and have and I think like reasonable and civil conversations. You know, we've got everybody in there, and you know, people, and we're playing to 2,500 people at a time, 2,200 in this theater. But you know, we're getting a vast market of people from all different walks of life who believe lots of different things. So it's really cool to sit in one room together in a theater and just be for 3 hours kind of one mind and be, have that thought process.
Have the question
together.
out there. Yeah, you say that the experience was great for you. It's 4 years in, and we're still in the rabbit hole. We still discover new things. On the one hand, you're thrust back into 8th grade social studies class. He never told a lie. He chopped down a tree. Those basic things. But then you dig into Ron Chernow's other book, Washington, A Life. This guy is the walking encyclopedia of Burr, and you can just dig and dig and dig, and information is so much more at our fingertips now that it's a revelatory experience for us too. So when people ask me, aren't you bored, or how do you keep, it never ends. And the different cities we go to, in Boston, people will tell me, oh, George Washington sat right there. Oh, George Washington.
Or Philadelphia.
He kicked the squirrel right there. Yeah. Philadelphia, they own these. Virginia, they own Thomas Jefferson, and they let you know that.
Yeah,
and the museums there are incredible. So this experience never gets boring.
The show is incredible. Hope everybody gets a chance to see it while you're here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And again, Hamilton is at the Overture Hall and runs through next Sunday, August 21st. For more information, visit overture.org. I got to go see that. Looks awesome. Still ahead, eyeing November, how Senate candidates are positioning themselves ahead of the election.
Shop local for quality made in the USA products at Wanakee Furniture, ETC. Browse a wide variety of sofas and hardwood home furnishings from brands you can trust, like Smith Brothers, Simply Amish, and Flex Steel. Every style, every budget.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes. I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes. Certainly. We got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
Ooh, Kohler, of course. When were you going to tell me about the new shower?
Oh, you like it?
I love it.
I designed it myself.
Is she bragging about our shower again?
Wow.
It was all Kohler Luxstone. The walls, the storage, the shower head, everything. A Kohler authorized dealer walked us through every detail, and installation couldn't have been easier.
Senator Johnson's working family defined him. He and his brothers and sisters were raised by two loving parents with deep faith who taught him the value of work. As a young man, he shoveled driveways, mowed lawns, delivered papers, caddied, played Little League baseball, and baled hay on his uncle's farm. At 15, he got a dishwashing job at Walgreens Grill and became night manager before he was 16. After college, he married Jane, his wife of 45 years, and moved to Oshkosh to start a manufacturing business with Jane's brother. For the first year, the two traded 12-hour shifts. Over the next 30 years, Senator Johnson performed just about every task in that business. He installed and operated the equipment, loaded trucks, kept the books, and sold its products all over the world. His business didn't export jobs, it exported plastic. His quiet but extensive charitable work was never done for show, but simply to lend a helping hand, a value he learned from our parents. He's my brother and my best friend.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Shop local for quality made in the USA products at Wanakee Furniture, ETC. Browse a wide variety of sofas and hardwood home furnishings from brands you can trust, like Smith Brothers, Simply Amish, and Flex Steel. Every style, every budget.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
News 3 Now primary election coverage brought you everything you needed to know. The latest results, team coverage of the key races, reaction, and analysis. That's why your local election headquarters is News 3 Now.
Back to school is not what it used to be.
There are new safety concerns, new protocols, and lots of questions.
We can help you navigate some of those hurdles with our Back to School series.
Join us every morning starting at 6:30 a.m. only on News 3 Now this morning.
Right now, the latest on the campaign trail, how Senate candidates are gearing up for November.
Drizzly, foggy, cloudy. That's why we're waking up this morning. How long will it stick around? We'll give you the latest coming up.
Hey, good morning, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now this morning. Sunday, we're going to start with the things check on our weather before we get to news this morning.
Yeah, and it is, man, just quite gross outside as we're taking a look. Outside of our sky cam, we can see the foggy conditions, but even a bit of that drizzle, which is just sticking around for us throughout our early morning hours. We are looking for that to start to clear up as we get into the later part of today. But taking a look at our current conditions as of right now, 65 degrees here in Madison, still dealing with some light showers and drizzle, but not going to be overly soggy throughout the rest of today. But taking a look at our fog conditions in general, areas of patchy fog is what we're going to be worried about for many areas, especially from Madison all the way to Juneau. And we can look at Mineral Point is one of the lower areas in terms of visibility, along with Viroqua at 1.5 miles. So if you're going to be traveling this morning, make sure that you are taking it slow and using your low beams, which we are going to be seeing those inconvenient impacts of the fog to stick around throughout our morning hours. But by the time we get into lunchtime, we're looking for that to start to clear out. Taking a look at temperatures, 68 degrees in Janesville with 65, and to Plattsville with dew points, which is feeling a lot of the moisture that we're seeing as of right now, from showers to a bit of that fog and cloudy conditions is really sticking around for us. Upper 60s in Janesville, mid in Platteville, and the lower 60s here in Madison. Taking a look at our radar, again, we're just dealing with some drizzle, so not a whole lot of activity, but they're still waking up to some wet conditions for us. We're kicking things off, Shane, but we'll take a look at what else to expect in just a few moments, and on top of it, we got to talk about back to school forecast coming up in a few moments.
All right, Julian, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start with breaking news coming into the newsroom right now. Madison police are reporting shots have been fired at Picnic Point. Shots fired again at Picnic Point. They say to take shelter and secure doors. Activity is continuing right now, and they say to avoid the area. Once again, MPD reporting right now, shots have been fired at Picnic Point, and they say to avoid the area and take shelter and secure your doors. We will have more on this when we learn more information this morning. Madison police are investigating the 5th and 6th homicides this year after one of the deadliest nights so far in 2022. One man is dead after a stabbing just before midnight Friday on Madison's east side. MPD officials say a 35-year-old man was found with a stab wound on Mayfair Avenue Friday night. He was taken to the hospital but eventually died from his injuries. Police do not believe the attack was random and are asking any witnesses to come forward with information that can help them identify a suspect. Meanwhile, another man was shot dead just a few hours before that stabbing. Friday night, Madison police were called to an apartment building in the 1700 block of Northport Drive. When they arrived, they found a 30-year-old man in the parking lot who had been shot, and life-saving attempts were made, but the victim was pronounced dead on the scene. Witnesses told police a fight escalated to that deadly gunfire. MPD is asking the public for help on both investigations, while also calling for an end to violence within the community.
We need our public's help if we are to cure gun violence in our cities. We need our community's help. If you see something and it doesn't look right, if there's an altercation, give the police a call so we can come and try to help. We don't want.
Police say no arrests have been made, and they still have little information as of this morning. You are asked to contact MPD if you know anything. The victims' names in both of these homicides aren't being released at this time, and the shooting comes on the same weekend that Dane County held their first gun buyback program at the Alliant Energy Center. That event was not open for media coverage. To a developing story this morning, one woman is dead after the oxygen tank she was using caught fire inside of her Mineral Point apartment. Officials say the fire started around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. The sprinkler inside the apartment was able to put out the fire, though some surrounding units were damaged by water, leaving one person displaced. Across the state this morning, the Wisconsin Department of Justice is investigating in Appleton where an officer-involved shooting took place Friday night. Nearby residents were told to shelter in place as Appleton police confronted a man armed with a handgun. Officers say they were forced to open a fire after a peaceful negotiation was unsuccessful. The suspect died after being taken to the hospital, and no officers were hurt. Those officers involved in the shooting have been placed on paid leave due to department policy. With the primaries now behind us, Wisconsin politicians are full steam ahead until November. Ron Johnson and Mandela Barnes are on the campaign trail this weekend in what's proving to be just the beginning of a long few months for the both of them. Our Catherine Merck joined them during their stops yesterday.
Mandela Barnes and Ron Johnson are heading into what could become one of the most closely watched Senate races in the 2022 cycle.
Every single vote in the United States Senate is absolutely critical. Yeah. And the Dems know it too.
Both candidates spent their Saturday talking with Wisconsin voters, one in Madison and one in Beloit, emphasizing the importance of every vote in a swing state like ours.
And this is how we get the job done. We know that the grassroots organization is what wins elections.
Going about talking to people, don't discount anybody. Reach out to anybody who loves this country, is worried about it, ask them to join us to heal, unify, and save this country.
Barnes and Johnson are going for similar attacks to define each other, casting their opponent as too extreme and out of touch with Wisconsin voters.
There's so many things that I believe are wrong with Senator Johnson.
I'm happy to put my resume up against my opponents.
Amen.
I mean, I don't know what he's done.
But perhaps the biggest similarity that's shared, both argue they are the true representative of the state's working class, a key factor to winning an election in a state being watched closely by these competitors and the rest of the country.
The November election is now just 85 days away, and Wisconsin represents yet another example of a high-stakes Senate race where the contrast between candidates is very significant, similar to races in states like Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Arizona. A NICU graduate celebrated his 50th birthday this weekend in the same spot where it all began. To celebrate the milestone, Brendan Day and his family returned to the hospital where he started his life after being born at just 2.5 pounds. The Day family, grateful Brendan has lived to see 50 years, is giving back by funding a new program to the SSM Health St. Mary's Foundation.
Why not see if we could go back to the hospital, make a contribution to the NICU, and just be here in honor of the fact that we have Brendan in our life because of what happened here 50 years ago.
The new program will provide books for families to read their babies in the NICU and later after their graduation back at home. An advocacy group here in Wisconsin is holding an event for the transgender community. Trans Closet is opening in Chippewa Falls, and it will offer free clothes, accessories, and shoes, and personal care items. Organizers say this pop-up closet will provide a safe space for people to shop without judgment.
Then as people who are on hormones, what they have to start with, even that stuff they go rush out and buy, it no longer fits them as they go through, so they have to constantly buy new things as their body changes to still have that gender euphoria from the clothing they wear and to feel comfortable and confident in their own skin while still not trying to break the bank.
All items will be free and donations of gently used clothing and money are accepted. The event is scheduled for next Sunday, August 21st. Well, coming up next, local school supply drives helping out area kids when we get back.
Subway's dropping 12 new subs for the all-new Subway series menu.
The new monster has juicy steak and crispy bacon.
But what about the new boss? It looks so good. It makes me hangry.
Settle down there, big guy.
The new Subway series. What's your pick?
Announcing another Best of Madison 2022 award. And the winner is Wisconsin Veterans Museum. Best Museum. Plan your visit online today. For a list of all the 2022 Best of Madison winners, pick up the August issue of Madison Magazine.
We got to see this election for ourselves.
Tile, wood, stone, laminate, and vinyl?
This hardwood is beautiful.
This vinyl is durable.
And this tile? So affordable.
But when it comes to everything our family needs, this one is perfect.
Now this store is the real deal.
At Floor & Decor, there's plenty of room to explore. Because with everyday low pricing on quality in-stock products and on-trend styles, you can really bring your living room to life. Discover Floor & Decor today.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
I'm a mom of 4 kids. We have 1 in high school, a toddler, and our latest addition, 7-month-old twins. I can appreciate the impacts of inflation. DC liberals just keep spending. All that money isn't free, and families are paying the price. Senator Ron Johnson is fighting to help Wisconsin families. He voted against reckless spending that caused inflation and to cut waste in Washington. Tell Senator Ron Johnson to keep fighting to stop the spending and hold DC liberals accountable.
Out here, we know a thing or two about beef. Hy-Vee knows beef too. Only 6 out of 100 cattle are even good enough to bear the Hy-Vee brand. Only 6 out of 100. Quality like that is hard to find. So enjoy your Hy-Vee steak this weekend. You've earned it.
Well, let's have a little bit of positivity this morning because we are waking up to some foggy and cloudy conditions here in Madison. Well, the good news is for those who are waiting for cooler weather and, of course, your pumpkin spice lattes, well, 39 days until the autumn solstice is going to be in effect for us. So just hold on a little longer because it will be here in just a blink of an eye because summer has pretty much done the exact same, just gone through the wind. Now, as we take a look at what we're looking at normally throughout the next 10 days, temperatures are going to feel rather pleasant into the middle and upper 70s throughout much of next week and even heading into the week following. So really enjoy this weather while we have it because the dog days of summer are over. Now we're looking at some more pleasantries in terms of our surface temperatures. Waking up this morning, now we got to talk about the dreariness. It's cloudy, it's foggy, and on top of it, we have some drizzle here in Madison. 64 degrees as of right now. Temperatures will slightly increase by the time we get into our early afternoon. We're looking at the low 70s to stick around. Not a lot in terms of warmth throughout the course of the day as the northeasterly flow is going to keep things rather cool throughout the course of the day. So our visibility is quite obscured for many areas, especially for Meadow Points, the Dells, and for our friends in Viroqua. But overall, we are also only looking at around 6 miles for Madison and 5 miles for Monroe. So if you are traveling this morning, make sure that you are using your low beams and taking it slow because it could be a bit treacherous. Now, we're going to talk about our setup here. We have this low-pressure system, which is starting to continue to track itself east, and a high-pressure system, which could be leading for some more dry weather. But we'll talk about our details and what that could mean for us as we head into our first full week of kids getting back to school in just a few moments. Until then, let's toss it back to you, Shane.
All right, Julian, thank you very much. Students across the Madison area are a little more prepared for the upcoming school year after the Black Men of Madison annual back-to-school celebration this year. Yesterday, 1,600 brand new backpacks full of new supplies were given away to make sure every kid is excited and prepared for the year ahead.
We don't do this for accolades. We don't do this for pats on the back or attaboys. We do this because we think that this is going to help to make the community a better place to live in. When kids get themselves this brand new backpack full of school supplies, they're off to a great jump start on the new school year. To see that, to see their smiling faces, to watch them light up as we hand these things to them, man, that is not replaceable. There's not an experience like it anywhere.
The event has been running for 27 years, distributing backpacks and school supplies to local students. Another school supply drive took place this weekend, and this one got a special visitor. After practice yesterday, Badgers inside linebacker Jordan Turner headed down the street to Brittingham Park to give back to the community. The sophomore partnered up with the local organization The Road Home. He helped donate 100 backpacks filled with school supplies for area kids, ranging from elementary to high school. And coupled with the backpack drive, Turner raised $2,000 for the group, which is focused on helping families who are experiencing homelessness find housing. Turner didn't have to go far, though, to find inspiration for this project. Growing up, his mom was part of a similar one, so when it came time for him to step up, he says it just made sense.
I'm walking in one day, can't even get in the house because there's a bunch of boxes, and I'm opening his backpack. So I go in there asking her, you know, what is this for? And she tells me. And so ever since then, you know, she always invited me to help her with the backpacks, and I just wanted to help carry that tradition on. I'm really happy to see the faces on everybody and everybody that came out, especially some of my teammates that came to support me. You know, that just made my day.
How cool is that? And a pair of former Badgers put on a show in their preseason debuts. Jack Sanborn came up big for the Bears in the third quarter, picking off a pass that helped the Bears come back in that one. And for the Bengals, Kendrick Pryor making all sorts of awesome catches Friday night, including this one. Watch this. Just goes up and snags it with one hand. He ended up with 4 grabs and a touchdown. And hey, Kendrick Pryor and I went to the same high school. Shout out Homewood Flossmoor High School. Still ahead, communities nationwide are struggling with bus driver shortages. We're going to tell you about that. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian, back after this.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Ooh, Kohler, of course.
When were you going to tell me about the new shower?
Oh, you like it?
I love it.
I designed it myself.
Is she bragging about our shower again?
Wow.
It was all Kohler Luckstone. The walls, the storage, the shower head, everything. A Kohler authorized dealer walked us through every detail, and installation couldn't have been easier.
Denny's all-time favorite Super Slam is back. Get bacon, sausage, eggs, hash browns, and buttermilk pancakes for only $6.99. Give your wallet a break and send it on a summer slamcation. The hottest deals are at Denny's, America's value destination.
Broken wire cuts or guns. Emergency trips are zero fun. This could be a sign to get Invisalign. Invis trauma-free. The #1 doctor recommended clear aligner brand. Invisalign.
Nobody can tell ya there's only one song worth singing. They may try and sell ya, cause it hangs them up to see someone like.
Life gets bigger when you break from the herd. The Volkswagen Tiguan. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the versatile 2022 Tiguan. Limited inventory available.
Senator Johnson's working family defined him. He and his brothers and sisters were raised by 2 loving parents with deep faith who taught him the value of work. As a young man, he shoveled driveways, mowed lawns, delivered papers, caddied, played Little League baseball, and baled hay on his uncle's farm. At 15, he got a dishwashing job at Walgreens Grill and became night manager before he was 16. After college, he married Jane, his wife of 45 years, and moved to Oshkosh to start a manufacturing business with Jane's brother. For the first year, the two traded 12-hour shifts. Over the next 30 years, Senator Johnson performed just about every task in that business. He installed and operated the equipment, loaded trucks, kept the books, and sold its products all over the world. His business didn't export jobs, it exported plastic. His quiet but extensive charitable work was never done for show, but simply to lend a helping hand, a value he learned from our parents. He's my brother and my best friend.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, the good news is that we're waking up this morning to improved foggy conditions for us. And by that, I mean the visibility is starting to increase as we continue throughout the rest of our morning hours. Even though we are still dealing with a bit of drizzle here in southern Wisconsin, we can see from Madison, we were at about 4 miles in terms of visibility throughout the morning. Now we're at 6. So we're seeing improvement, guys. And we just need to get throughout the rest of our morning. And heading into the afternoon, we'll start to see that fog really lift throughout much of the area. But from the Dells, Mineral Points, and areas in Viroqua or for Vernon Vernon County in itself. Just make sure that you are taking it slow because we are still looking at obscurities in terms of our visibility as we're kicking off our morning. Planning out the rest of today, it is going to be a slow increase in terms of temperatures, but it's not even going to be that much either. We're going to see those lower 70s really take hold throughout our afternoon hours as cloudy conditions will remain until we get into tonight, which leads into what we're going to be expecting throughout the next few days. The low pressure system is going to continue to push itself east. With it, we are looking at a high pressure system to take over into the upper Midwest, which is going to lead into the next few days to be rather dry. But as of right now, we are still seeing a bit of some moisture into southern Wisconsin as dew points are into the 60s as we're kicking things off for us, which is why we saw a bit of drizzle. We're holding onto that cloud cover, and on top of it, we had foggy conditions as well. But over the last 48 hours, we did see for some areas, especially towards the west, some real healthy amounts of some rainfall, around 2.5 inches estimated. This is just from radar estimations, around 2.5 inches of rainfall for areas just outside of Crawford County and Grant County in itself. Some areas just north of Platteville were very similar, but for us in Madison, since we just saw more drizzle and showers, not a whole lot of heavy rainfall, we saw about close to 1/4 of an inch. But folks, we are sending our kids back to school tomorrow. Well, not mine, but yours. As we're going to be taking a look at what it's going to be like for us, well, temperatures are going to feel a bit chilly for some of us. We're going to see those lower 60s for the pickup, and as by the time of our midday and for drop-off, well, we're going to see those 70s come back into the frame for us. But planning out the rest of today, going into our first day of classes starting back, temperatures are going to be in the low 70s throughout the course of the day. Cloudy conditions as well will start to break up by the time we get into tonight, which is great news. But as we go into our Monday, we're going to kick off our morning into the low 60s, some areas into the upper 50s. We're going to see those dew points fall as well, so not a lot of humidity. By the time lunchtime rolls in, plenty of sunshine. Some areas could see some cloudy conditions, but overall, it's going to be a quiet Monday, and on top of it, our temperatures are going to feel rather pleasant. Our three things we're going to need to know: it's going to be foggy and cloudy for today, but the upper 70s and mid 70s are going to stick around throughout next week, and by the time we get into next week as well, or until about Thursday or Friday, we're going to be rather dry as well. As we're going to see from our 10-day forecast, going in from the next few days, temperatures into the upper 70s, plenty of sunshine, some cloud cover. But, Shane, it is going to be dry until we see around Friday or Saturday, where we have our best chance to see some showers and storms rolling back into our forecast.
All right, so another weekend with some rain chances.
I know, right?
Not great news, but...
You know, for you, because I think at this point now, it's every weekend that you've worked. It's just been rain.
I'm bad luck.
This is your fault.
All right, Julian, thank you very much. Well, for families with kids, more students across the country are returning to school this week, next week, throughout the next month. But school districts nationwide are struggling to get enough bus drivers behind the wheel. Danya Backus is in Los Angeles with more.
The wheels on the school bus are having a hard time going around in school districts across the country, as many struggle to find bus drivers, putting more pressure on parents.
I'll have to go to the elementary school, take that child home, and then come back to the middle school and the high school, and they both get out at the same time.
The shortage is being felt nationwide, with 86% of schools saying they don't have enough applicants, despite offering pay incentives, training, and flexible scheduling.
Bus drivers are very important to the district. They are considered essential and frontline workers.
The lack of drivers is forcing some schools to scrap or reduce routes, change start times, and get creative. In Charlottesville, Virginia, there are new school walk zones because hundreds of students will be going on foot.
We are hiring drivers!
In Chicago, families are being offered a $500 monthly stipend to get their kids to class.
887 to Station 3.
For returning drivers like Pam Grays, it's important to be back behind the wheel.
Those children need to go to school, and they're out there waiting on you to take them to school.
In some school districts, even principals, athletic directors, and superintendents are getting a commercial driver's license to help drive buses. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And here in Madison, the start of school is about 4 weeks away, with Madison Metro heading back on September 8th and a lot of other school districts heading back within the next few weeks as well. Well, hey, make News 3 part of your weekly routine by downloading the Channel 3000 app for the latest headlines and weather conditions 24/7. And when we get back, a special surprise for a community favorite. We'll be back in a second.
There's a cavities and big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
What do you mean the connecting rooms were not confirmed?
Exactly, not confirmed. But they're super close, though. There's just a courtyard in between them. Well, actually, it's an alley, but nobody lives in it anymore, so that's cool.
Go ahead and lock the door.
What? When you want your kids in a room that's actually connecting, lock the door. Why would I lock the door? It matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes, I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes. Certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
At Pick and Save, we believe local produce shouldn't be hard to find. That's why we work with local farms right in our own backyard to bring you fresher than fresh produce.
You got everything I need. You like medicine to me. Oh, baby,
Because shopping for local produce should be as easy as shopping at your local Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Teachers always spend a lot out of pocket of their own money.
It's a recent trend for teachers getting ready for back to school, creating their own Amazon wish lists. One local teacher shares her classroom wish list and why it's important for her students. Eye on Education, Monday at 10.
Imagine a world without breast cancer. What if you were the one more we needed to raise one more dollar, take one more step, share one more story? The power of one starts with you. Join us for the More Than Pink Walk, August 28th.
And finally, this morning, a community rallying for one of its own. Chase Backman has this story from Fostoria, Ohio.
That's the sound of a town marking 85 years for its favorite citizen. Clancy Johnson is an Army vet and cancer survivor. He's lived without stable housing for decades, but the people of Fostoria say it's by choice, and they love him all the same. Beth Mosley started the surprise event on Facebook less than 48 hours ago.
Clancy is one of a kind. He will give you the shirt off of his back, and he will give you the last dollar in his pocket type of person. He'll do anything for you and will never ask for anything ever in return. So it's just time that we celebrate him.
Local businesses marked the occasion with art in the downtown windows. It's partly the work of Evelyn Stowe.
I think it's amazing how it just started with one little thing and then became this big. I didn't think it'd get this big. I wasn't even sure if he'd see the window.
They say Clancy has helped around town, doing all sorts of odd jobs.
All the businesses in town pretty much look out for him and help him out and offering free drinks, and he does a lot of stuff for the businesses.
But no matter where he is, Clancy's always been a joy to others.
This is my turn to get back to him finally.
Such a great story there. But before we get to a final check on our weather, I want to give you a quick update on that shots fired situation at Picnic Point. UW-Madison police say there is now no threat to campus. They have searched the area. No threat to campus. It is safe to resume normal activities in that area. and an investigation will continue, and we'll keep monitoring this story as we get new information. But before we go, here's Julian with one more check on our weather.
But also great job with that breaking news. And as we take a look at our weather, the three things we're going to need to know, folks, we are dealing with foggy and cloudy conditions throughout the morning. But the good news is that we're going to be seeing those 70s throughout this week going into next weekend, and the dry conditions will continue for the foreseeable future until we get into pretty much next weekend as well. We can blame Shane for having showers and storms on our weekends. Outside of that, enjoy the first week of school as kids get back to it, and things are going to be rather pleasant, Shane.
I'll take the blame. All right, thanks for joining us this Sunday. Have a good one.